What is up, everybody? It's Thursday night. You know what that means. And I'm going to say that from now on if y'all haven't caught on to that. Rest in peace, Brody Lee. It's in the pit with Josh the Mosh. So let's get it going. I'm a little rattled because I'm kind of fired up tonight. So y'all have been warned. So let's bring it on and bring in Numero Dos. What is up, man?
Oh, hi there. I'm Numero Dos.
How are you?
I'm fired up as well, man. Like I'm ready. Like I've done nothing but work and sit in silence all day, so I'm ready to sit with the boys, drink some beer, and talk shop.
Hell yeah, man. It looks like I think we're gonna have all our usual suspects at one point or another, but we'll bring them in as they join. But I do see that our Portal Bros in the lush backstage area, so we'll bring him in as well.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Repping that PPW shirt.
What's up, bro? Of course.
Love it.
All
Love
day,
it.
every day.
It's not an evil shirt, but I mean it's the next best thing.
Oh, that's never gonna happen.
You can't fault him for having bad style.
Whoa,
Not
whoa.
the PPW. Not the
you know what's funny?
PPW shirt, just the lack of evil.
I was actually gonna show y'all this last week, but we ran out of time. But
the PPW
in my
shirt
room,
that's the upgrade.
Yeah.
So in my living room here, because I have many different things. Actually, I get reminded of Evil every day.
No.
But he was with Lij. So every day I get to be reminded of how shitty fucking Evil is.
The good old days.
Yeah, actually, when he was great. Okay, well, great. That's kind of a stretch. He was confident.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So there's been a lot going on in the world of wrestling, as always. We finished the G1, so that's a wrap. We can talk about that. But there's something I'm gonna just kind of get out there real quick, and this is as a promoter. I'm gonna put the promoter hat on and the PPW shirt on, I guess, too.
Oh man, here we go.
I'm just really been getting frustrated with the business. I mean, the business is frustrating. It's tough. It's dirty. But the thing is, when adults act so fucking petty that they're all up in everybody else's business, when I think promoters should just promote their own fucking company and mind their own fucking business. You know what I mean? They're always worried about, oh, well, somebody's running on my day, or somebody's dropping this and somebody's doing that. Who gives a shit? The promoters are promoters trying to help. They should be putting on shows for fans, because the fans to me matter more. The talent is above all of it, though. We're booking talent. If they're available, you book them. If they're booked on another show, so be it. Move on to the next one. It happens. And I'm just like, it's just so fucking frustrating. It's like, well, somebody decides, oh, they're going to run on this day because somebody else is running on that day. So now they're being offensive. It's like, you have your show, book your talent, run your matches, sell your tickets, let them do their thing. They decided that, hey, I still have enough fan base that I can run on that same day too. That's a choice they made. And it just keeps happening and happening lately. And I'm just like really fucking sick of it. So I just think it's petty. And I think promoters should grow up and run their own fucking companies.
It is interesting how like heated the scene seems to be getting, even though we've actually got several promotions that are on hiatus or permanently done, and you
there's so many not running.
Really seeing this competitive crap. Like honestly, like I think as a promoter, like I'm not a promoter, I'm just a fan, but I think as a promoter, like I would want to work together with other people. That's just always how I felt. Like two is always better than one. Like now you don't have to work with everybody. Not every relationship is copacetic, but I agree with you here. Like we're currently looking at several situations where a lot of us are caught kind of in the crossfires of some behind the scenes bullshit, you know?
And me that tries to, I mean, I try to get along with everybody. If you don't, you know what I mean? Give me a reason to be mad at you. I'm not going to be mad at you if you didn't do nothing to me or someone I care about. And, when I got into this, which the pipe dream started over 2 years ago for the PPW thing, my thing was like, man, it's going to be great. And we're going to run together and we get all the South Texas companies together and have annual shows together. And, you know, up Central Texas run shows together and, oh yeah, and great. And everybody's, you know, yeah, it sounds great. Sounds great. There's no fucking way that shit's happening. Like, it's just not going to happen. And if it does, it's going to be half-assed. And then everyone else is going to be bitching and moaning because they're not part of it. You know what I mean? It's never going to fucking work. Huh?
What do you think makes it this way? Like,
because I think promoters, I mean, they're proud of what they do. So they have a reason to puff their chest out because it's not easy. I mean, it's not easy, but I really don't, I mean, I don't think it's as hard as people make it out to be either. It's like a fine line, you know what I mean? Like it's like people think it's like astronomically hard, and it's tough in my mind. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
so
well, anything worth doing
so
is challenging. Yeah,
exactly. And so these promoters, like, I don't know what they're trying to do. Like, are you trying to like be so good that you run your promotion that Tony Khan or Vince McMahon is going to call you to come work for them? Is that what your goal is? If that's your goal, then I think you're doing it totally wrong. You know what I mean? Like, I think you should be in it to help promote talent and entertain fans.
right.
And if you're a promotion trying to do it for yourself, then like I just don't got time for you, man.
What is a promoter beyond the show, really? I mean, honestly, like that's kind of your chef's kiss, your coup de grace, you know, like
Yeah.
you know, that's your ticket that you punch, essentially. Like if you put on a great show, that's the thing. Like you don't get to turn around and say, well, I'm the reason people are getting signed, or I'm this, so this is my date, my venue, my wrestler, my talent. Because it's kind of weird. There's a vibe. Like there's matches that are being run back to back, same match, separate promotions. There are shows, like there are fucking 6 shows this Saturday. I feel like in this time, in this state.
And I don't have a problem with running the same matches back to back days, because that means that's 2 bookings for that talent to work.
That's true.
But it should fucking matter. Like, don't put a match that somebody else is running just because you feel like it. You know what I mean? Like,
but doesn't that feel like a house show to you? Doesn't that feel like back in the day where you would have Monday Night Raw?
If you follow them everywhere, you're gonna see the same card.
House shows were the same fucking match,
and that's fine.
Yeah,
and I'm fine with it. So don't be mad about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's cool. Like, those, to me, I see it. The talent's getting 2 bookings. And then fans that can't make it to one can make it to the other one, and they're not going to miss an awesome match. You know, that's a small part of what fired me up. But you know, is the thing about a promotion running on the same day, like, and then making a big deal about it, even if it's in the same town. I don't give a fuck. Like, I wouldn't care. Like, if I made a date in Kingsville, this small town, and somebody else wants to come run on that same day, fine. I'm booking my talent and I'm booking my card, and my fans are going to come to my show.
You know,
and you know what I mean?
Yeah,
ahead,
you know what?
So, I cut you off twice already.
No, so it's okay. No, some days never
I'm
really
like
understood.
Trying to stay even calm because I'm fucking fired up.
So for me, I really feel like a lot of times we get caught in this kind of like tribal kind of like mentality of like, oh, this is my promotion, this is my promotion, like, or promoters like, oh no, this is like my talent, or this is my area. It's like, in all the day, like there's like different kinds of wrestling fandom, right? The folks that go to local shows go to multiple local shows, like where you're gathering from the same pool of fans, so there's no point in fighting.
And I said I have my fans, but they're not only, they can't go they can go wherever the hell else they want to.
Yeah, and they do.
and they do. I watch WWE, I watch AEW, I watch New Japan, I watch Ring of Honor, I watch fucking Impact. Exactly. And then I go to every indie show I possibly can until I got fucking COVID and I can't go anywhere now, but until I get healthy. But I mean, I don't miss shows. I travel all over the state. I've traveled all over the country to go to shows.
Yeah, I'm fucking tired of that.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Rest in peace, Austin wrestling scene.
I'm saying, dude, and that's what we need. And we have so much awesome talent in the state. Like, we talk about on here all the time.
Dude,
so
and they're being signed.
About running shows all the time?
They're being recognized.
Give them matches back to back 3 days in a row. Like, who cares?
You know, do you think that's what adds to it? Do you think that's what adds to it? Because here's the side of the card. Like, okay, so let's just call someone out. Let's just say it what it is. And he's probably watching. Maybe not. Jaime and Loco Wrestling. Like, when you look at a GCW card right now, you're gonna find 4 or 5 Loco wrestlers on that roster. Yeah. But the thing is, that is not how really and truly a lot of those talents should be known. Like, when those guys come out to GCW reps Loco because they came down, they fought with Loco, they have a working relationship with Loco. Because look at Jaime. Jaime's fucking one of the downest motherfuckers on the planet. Like, I love Jaime. He'll talk to anybody. But do you feel like maybe promoters are feeling a little bit shafted because, like, even if it's their fault or not, now these talent are getting places and they're starting to be known as more like with Loco or with this promotion out of this promotion, because that's kind of the thing to do now.
Yeah, I get it, and that's probably a part of it. Because then they're like, well, he was at my show before there, you know what I mean? They didn't even exist, and he was on my show. And I remember when he was little. I was like, I mean, I can only talk for myself. And I've only ran 2 or 3 shows. I've tried to run about 10 shows. I have talent that I consider mine. I have champions that are mine, I would assume. You know what I mean? Because they carry my titles. Some of them, that was the first title they ever had. But I don't see them now. They're going, you know, on another show, fighting for another championship or whatever. And it's like, well, I remember I'm the only reason why that person's getting that match because, you know, I saw something in them 3 years ago. No.
It's weird.
I'm just like, I'm excited. I'm like, hell yeah, go be on that. Go win that one. Go beat them. Go everywhere. Fight every fucking day. Have matches. Have 2 on Sunday. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Grow.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of goes back to
share your talent with the fucking state. And when people are doing this shit, then it's just like, man, I don't want to get in the middle of it because then you're going to get blah, 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 back and forth from them. And then talent's going to be like, well, you know what, then fuck both of y'all and I'm going to go work somebody else. And then it makes it harder for them. That hasn't happened yet, but I could see that happening. And that's what worries me.
It hasn't happened right now, but it has happened in the past.
Oh, well,
there are many, many, many latent examples of people saying, don't tell me that I can't work for you because I work for somebody. I mean, and I'm not going to name names, but people have called that out recently. Like this week, I've seen posts from talent being like, "Oh,
hey,
sorry,
I'm sorry. I guess
we had numero uno and Hija del Uno.
Hija del Uno. Hey, look at her.
The official debut. We mentioned her, but
why you got so much hair?
We were on the vibe of talking,
right?
so it was hard to find a break to bring you in. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good.
We're on a roll. We're on a roll. Numero.
I want to answer that question. I don't know
Which one?
who posted that. Are there so many wrestlers in San Antonio, Austria, that every promotion should have a place to shine? So
Are there so many wrestlers in San Antonio, Austin area? I'm sorry, I didn't see it either because I was too busy ranting. Are there so many wrestlers that
I feel like there's a lot of good talent that doesn't get booked, doesn't get a chance, just because the promoters are too stuck on seeing the same talent. Whatever's working at one promotion, they want to try it at their own promotion in a different way, and they don't want to grow their own stars.
Lazy. Some of them are lazy. Some of not all of them. Most promoters, because you can't really be a promoter and be lazy. Like that's almost an oxymoron.
So,
but I'm with
a
you.
good
Go ahead.
example of this is Ninja Mac. Ninja Mac has been working the indies for I don't know how long. He was doing those lucha shows with 20, 30 people. And he, one of the first promoters to take a big chance on him was Martinez and Lucha VIP in Houston. And they were like the only ones like booking him constantly, all the time. And you didn't hear nobody booking Ninja Mac until he became Ninja Mac and he became known in local. And then GCW started looking at them and now everybody wants to book him. For example, ASF is another example. Like ASF was
rolled down here when they did that show. All of the talent that came out that was Team Texas, it said Loco Wrestling there. Like that was like it was Team GCW versus Team Loco, and ASF came out Team Loco. Chris Carter Team Loco. Dante Leon Team Loco. Tons of people were Team Loco, like a ton of people. That's why I say, like, to that point, like what Juan's getting at, like it's Loco. Like that's what the word is. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, like so why not take a chance on newer talent or talent that has been around but maybe hasn't gotten the chance of shining somewhere.
But the thing is though, and I might kind of push back a little bit on that because Loco's in Houston, you know, and there's people that can't drive 4 hours to go to a show.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So there's us down here because I think of that because that's how we are. So we book down here some of those people so that our people down here can see them. You know what I mean? Like Ninja Mac came and wrestled in Corpus, you know, and that's so like that's 100, 200. Was it an after-hour show? Oh, it was after-hour show. So 200 people. Yeah. No, I'm saying how many people got to see them probably that don't watch DCW, or travel to Houston. Like down here. That's a big percentage. A lot of the fans down here in South Texas don't travel. I know who they are. Like we know who they are.
Yeah,
We all know them. There's like 15 of us. You know what I mean? There's 20 of us maybe. But at these shows in Corpus and here, they've had 300 people, 400 people. You know, so it's kind of hard what you're saying. Those are local guys. But I mean, you do need to book for the fan, because I said, everyone thinks this is talent first. Like, well, no, the fans is really, you know, if you don't have them, then you don't have a show, because then you can't pay talent to book them. You know what I mean? And then you're doing nothing but students, and then you're gonna have student shows. You know what I mean? That are like they're the hot dog and a handshake bullshit, which nobody should ever fucking do. Just throwing that out there too. Like, fuck that rule.
Man, that is the deathmatch community's favorite joke, man. Like every single clip, somebody's like, "Well, I hope it was worth the handshake and a hot dog."
Dumbest joke ever.
It's not a joke. The sad thing is, it's not a joke.
No.
It used to be you'd be lucky if you got a full, like if you got relish and mustard. You know what I mean? Like that was the bonus you were shooting for, from what I've heard.
I just feel like, to Josh's point, if AEW is proving anything, it's like how being flexible with other promoters, working with other promotions, having your door open is the way to go. Like it
right there, like that comment right there from a person that's running a show on November 20th with same talent, right there. That's what we fucking need to do.
That's what we need.
I'm sorry to talk over. I told you, I warned y'all this morning, and I warned you this afternoon.
Hey man,
fired up tonight. So
it's nice to have talking Josh back.
Yeah, I've been under the weather for months, but
it's like a pride thing that a promoter won't accept when somebody else is booking like a badass show. And even though like many of those, like I said,
I want to go to those shows.
Yeah, like
when someone books a badass show, I want to go. Yeah, I want to go. I don't care. Like I said, I've flown to Chicago. I've flown to freaking Baltimore. I drive to Houston. I've driven to San Antonio, stayed up all night to drive to Houston, to fly to Baltimore, to fly back to Houston, to drive back to San Antonio, to come back.
I remember that.
Well. I was up for 3 fucking days to watch 4 shows and an MMA fight because there was a wrestler on the MMA card. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
If you build
cry me a fucking river, you know what I mean?
I'm with you. Like that's what you're saying. Like build your fan base, let all the other bullshit slide. I do like that comment. Wrestle Rave this weekend.
Yeah, I'll be there too.
I'll be there. Luchador Insane in a death match. That's a good card too. Like and honestly, like that's where it should be at. Like we should be pumping each other up. We should be hyping the boys. Like there are promoters that run in San Antonio all the time, and you'll never see me at their shows. And I don't say that in a bad way. Just like I don't have that connection. Like they're pitching that fan base, that reach hasn't got to me. Like I'll go if we've got a good match. But then you look at heavy metal. Like you remember the day that heavy metal ran multiple shows on a Saturday? I drove up there the night before just to watch Mall Madness, and then drove all the way back to Austin. Woke up the next morning, drove right back to San Antonio. Like if you build it, it sounds stupid, but if you build it, they will come. But and we see the argument, we see the bullshit, we see the petty crap, and that's I agree with you, Josh. The fans pay the price at the end of the day. The fans are the ones that pay.
And then without them, what do you have? Nothing. You have your talent going to fucking Oklahoma or Louisiana or wherever the fuck else. You know what I mean?
I wasn't in the first one, Roland. We're outside building, but
we got super.
I did run 3 shows that day. All killer, no filler. Man, hell yeah, man. One of my favorite weekends the whole year. Honestly.
Very memorable.
Yeah,
hell yeah, man.
So I'm just, like I said, it's frustrating. And like I said, and they're all like, oh, who's the fuck this guy's ran 3 shows and doesn't know. But I've been watching this business and loving this business for 4 decades. You know what I mean? Like that's majority. That's more than people have been alive that are on this show.
I think people get petty. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. When you look at a grind from certain people, like I'm not gonna lie and I'm not gonna flex. People like Jaime, Dunbar, you. Promoters that have a solid connection with their fan base, try to put on the best show. Like they make me feel like I can do it. Like if I really wanted to come out of the works and try to book a show, like if I work hard, because they're these guys that no matter what happens, like heavy metal shows up with a good show, Logo shows up with a good show. It's just like all it really takes is someone that really is passionate about the business. So at what point does your passion for what you're doing take a back seat to your ego about what you've done? Like that's such an old dog mentality. Like that's so like, well, I'm here and I'm the it's like they said, to be the man, you got to beat the man, and somebody's always going to be out there trying to take that away from you.
Yep. Yeah, and that's what we need right there. Just why can't we just be Texas? You know, like we're supposed to be proud Texans, right? Like everyone says, Texas is always full of people proud of their state. But then when it comes to the wrestling thing, it's like we're like fucking Civil War every time you look.
Every time.
Just fucking frustrating, man. And then this passive aggressive bullshit that people post on social media is like what I think was the breaking point for me today. When someone just puts like, oh, well, when somebody does this, when somebody does that, and then within the comments, well, I don't get on social media and say shit. Okay, you fucking literally, this is your post, motherfucker.
I hate that. Like, as a human being, I'll just give you carte blanche knowledge. If you ever come at me and your excuse for doing something wrong was that someone else did something else, I'm not taking you seriously. You're talking to me like a 2-year-old. If I'm not as bad as this person or so-and-so did that, I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to yell at my neighbor because my wife didn't cook dinner or whatever. Not that I'm just saying, like, you have to handle the problem that you have.
Handle your business.
Handle your own situation. If your show
that's where I started.
Being an egotistical asshole is not going to change that. Like, I'm not going to come to your show because you're ranting and raving about shit. Like, your card should speak for you. In all honesty, like, that's really where it should be at. That's what I would think. You know what I mean? Like, there's such a sports mentality about wrestling right now. And it's like, am I a Cowboys fan, or am I a Texans fan, or am I a Spurs fan, or am I whatever? I just don't think wrestling's like that. I think that's the advantage of wrestling. Every promotion that you go to, you can pick a different team inside that promotion. You don't even have to root for the same guy at different promotions. There were guys that inspired that we booed, and we cheered them at ACW. And those shows took place 5 blocks from each other at one point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and there's nothing wrong with that at all. Because you're just supporting fucking wrestling and supporting the talent and being a fan.
Yeah.
Because we were all fans. Before all this shit, we were all fans.
That's what got us into it.
Everybody that hates on the E. There was a time y'all all fucking, that's all you watched was the E.
Damn right.
Like, very few people.
Also, just like to remind everybody, I am a shareholder of WWE. So I am part owner of the E. I am allowed to bitch all I want. I have a vested interest.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, I used to be an owner too.
Never gonna sell that stuff.
I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
It's just like people forget where they came from. You know what I mean? There's the card. That's
I think it's just people working hard. Like, I really just think that people work hard and then people get jealous about that grind. Yeah. Like, honestly,
because it was hard. And I get it. And that's why I say that's where they get the right to puff their chest. And I've been doing it in this town for 10 years, 5 years, 20 years, whatever. That's awesome. But who, at the end of the day, I really kind of don't give a fuck. Because if you start fucking around and people stop coming to your shows, it's all for nothing. If you piss off talent, they don't want to come fucking book for you, that takes a lot to do because talent usually doesn't say no if they're available because they're trying to get out there. They're on the hustle and the grind. If they come out, then what the fuck are you going to do? And people say, oh, I love indie shows because, and I saw someone make the comment, and I'm not going to bash it, but I'm just going to kind of point on it. It's like, oh, I love how they give it when there's 1,000 people or when there's 10 people. But if all the shows are only 10 people, there's not going to be a lot more shows. I'm sorry.
I have a comment about that.
Because unless the promoters are just forking out money and hemorrhaging money out of their own pockets, like, tickets help pay for talent, unless you got a shit ton of sponsors and all that kind of shit.
But if you can run 50 shows that only 10 fans attend to, and you can keep running, like, fuck it. Like, you made it. Like, honestly, like, if you can run shows with only 10 fans and keep doing it, I just feel like at that point, I'm just hating on you for doing something I couldn't do. Like,
Japan.
You know what I mean? Like,
you're talking about heavy metal.
You can laugh when places close, but if you look at a company that's run so many shows and X number of fans go, but they keep running, like, it's a success. If they come back next week and run another show, it's a success.
That wasn't the angle I was going at all about it. I was just talking about how important it
is.
No,
I know.
If you can't pay the talent, then what the fuck? And to me, most promotions need fans to pay for talent.
That's true.
Because I know what you're talking about, and that was great and fantastic. And if I could do that and run a show every week with only 10, 15 people in the crowd or 20 people.
I miss PPW.
That would be awesome. I can't do that. So it is what it is. Like I said, it's just when it started all over again, fans and talent is what matters, and then it's the promoter. And I'm sorry if I stepped on anybody's toes or whatever. I'm just totally out of fucks to give, and if that means no one's ever going to work with me again, then PPW stands alone, and I don't give a fuck. I appreciate everybody that's helped me, and like I said, and you mentioned names. You were talking about Jaime and Dylan and them. I'm going to throw in Jeff and Ben and Corpus. If it wasn't for them, I would have never got my first chance to run a show. And whenever I have someone that I got question or text, I need to find something, those are one of the first people I reach out to. So I'm going to shout them out just like we shouted out the other ones. And that's all I'm going to talk about.
Exactly.
You know,
I mean, I think we
And
can
I'm-
all agree that screw Joe Alonso. Screw that guy.
I can't. Sorry. We can't agree. We're gonna start fighting about that now.
Damn. Okay,
You're
fine,
get
fine.
careful what you say tonight. Careful what you say. I got the mute button. Remember?
Hold
I'll
on.
fucking yank people out. This motherfucker.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, my mute works too. That's good.
Yeah, but mine's the one that you can't take off. So, anyway, now 25 minutes into the show, we can start the show now.
Yeah.
So, what's going on in wrestling? We're going to talk about New Japan.
Yeah,
G1
we can
sucked.
we can talk about New
Ending
Japan.
sucked. Evil should have been in it.
No, so thankfully, so what I got to miss out, what I got to miss to tell you guys last week was the Evil was definitely in it, and then thankfully Jeff Cobb just killed that light, which is wonderful. It was.
It's really good that Jeff Cobb was able to make the finals and do something with that.
Yeah.
With that
Hey.
win.
Okay. So this is the reasoning that New Japan had. Now we can bring up the conversation we're having before. Pew, 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 pew. Yeah, we can talk the conversation that we're having before about Okada and all that, right? But I just want to point out that it does appear, right, because Okada is the face of New Japan, that Okada has had the championship recently and that he's won G1s. But in reality, he hasn't won. He hasn't been in G1 finals in 4 years. The last time he was a champion was like in 2019.
And we were talking about this before the show, and that came up because I called him the John Cena of New Japan. Other than the title reign that he had, his 16th title reign, which was 3 years ago, that he had it for like a month.
Yep.
Like he hadn't held a major title in fucking years either. John
Exactly.
Cena.
But
So I think he's still. So I'm saying though, I think Okada is the John Cena.
Oh, that's for that when you look at it that way, that's very fair because he doesn't need the title. Okada's Okada, no matter what,
Cena's
right?
I mean, numero dos, I think, referenced him as the Rock of New Japan.
Yeah.
Well, I was referencing the remark that Josh is referencing is backstage. I said that the Ibushi Okada rivalry has become very reminiscent of The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin rivalry.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's kind of how I feel about it. I don't know who I think is more like. If you want my honest opinion, I really do feel like Okada is kind of more like the Stone Cold in the scenario, and
for sure,
he might be The Rock, but. It's really just more about like this is the same two guys. These paths kind of continue to cross. Like there was.
Okay, go ahead.
There was other talent in the G1, and it came down to Okada and Ibushi. And here's the other thing that you like. I'm not knocking or hating on either of these guys. Like those guys can do things that none of us could even.
They're amazing. They're great.
Oh yeah, we got a 2-runner. Anyway, sorry, we watched the Dodgers game too. But at the same time, like every time that Ibushi gets to a main event, he feels like he's got to crank that shit all the way up to 12. Ibushi has had some insane moments in the last 3 or 4 years, and you pay for that eventually. You pay for that, and last night's really kind of a good example.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, Ibushi's a crazy motherfucker. So when he was learning how to wrestle, he was doing spots on the street, like on concrete.
Sure.
And yet, what happened? Okay, so let's go back to how we got here. So let's because there's like a wait to get here. But here, let me just talk about it in general. The G1 was all right. What we ended up having was Okada versus Ibushi in the finals. Now Okada had to go through Jeff Cobb. Now the reason why in their reasoning, okay, I see the hat. I see the fitted. So the reason why, in my opinion, that Jeff Cobb didn't make it was because in New Japan's eyes, Jeff Cobb actually he actually broke a record. It was either the most consecutive wins in a G1, the most points in G1. It was something to that effect. So he already broke a record. So at that point, okay, cool. Thank you, Jeff Cobb. But at the end of the day, you're still not the champion. You're still not the leader of the empire, right? And on the other side, you have Okan, the Great Okan, which this was the coming out party for the Great Okan. He had 3 main events that he went back to back to back, and he showed out in all of them. He's going to be the next big thing as one of the recently graduated young lions, right? So now you get a situation where you have Ospreay, who's the leader, who's here in America. You have Cobb, who's now has been established now as like he's definitely a contender, right? But he doesn't need to go and win the belt because you already have someone claiming that with Ospreay. And then you have Okan, which is another guy who's already being set up strong. So both of the really the strongest faction right now is the Empire, which is a brand new faction. Because when you really think about it, right? So that's like they both did that without having to go to the G1 finals, right? And Okada, like I said, Okada hasn't been in the G1 finals in 4 years. Last time he won the belt was in 2019, and he didn't have it for that very long. Even though prior to that he had it for 2 years, give or take. No, but so it's been a while since we had Okada in that situation. Now, you gotta look at what New Japan. So we were talking about they're having issues with fans coming to events. If you look at these finals, it's the saddest situation when it comes to fans. Now, mind you, there's different. Got it. COVID in Japan is gone rampant. The situation with the tainted vaccine, all the stuff like that has made it hard. I get it.
Yeah.
But they're still having issues selling tickets. It is very sad. Stardom in Kirk and Hall sells more tickets than New Japan. That should never happen. Like, imagine if like a AEW or WWE didn't sell as many tickets as like Shine. Like, it was like, whoa, hold on a second. They're both great right? They're both great, but fandom wise, that shouldn't be the case. But that's the reality of things, right? So Okada is the known draw. He is the draw. He is New Japan. And it's been a while. So you put the belt back on Okada, you might have a chance to start bringing fans back again. So now we go to these finals, right? Now, unfortunately, it was Ibushi also broke another record of being in the finals 4 times in a row.
That's not all he broke.
Yep. Oh. Unfortunately, right? So, now let's go back to Ibushi. Ibushi and Naito are 2 guys. I'm gonna mention Naito too because this G1 has been riddled with just bad luck.
Yeah,
like and Naito and Ibushi are 2 guys. It
actually finished the perfect way if you think about it.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, sadly.
So Naito and Ibushi are 2 guys. When all 4 matches they've had against each other have been crazy matches. You're like, what are you doing? You're gonna hurt yourself. But they never do. Except now we got here, and so I remember I used to listen to the Taz show all the time, and Taz always had this thing. Do you have a bump card? You have a certain amount of bumps in your bump card, and eventually it's gonna catch up to you. Now Ibushi,
same as a fighter, they got that button. You can only press it so many times.
There's only so many times you can take it to the chin, and then that chin becomes weak. Look at Connor, same situation. But anyways,
but that's been every fighter ever. Chuck Liddell, Anderson Silva, Randy Couture. I mean, years. Yeah, Ronda Rousey. You have these people that are just unstoppable forever, and then all of a sudden,
and then they're not, right? So when it comes to Ibushi, if you follow Ibushi's career from DDT, from doing random stuff in Japan to coming out to he's always done crazy stuff. Like he would do bumps on concrete, and I'm not talking about like when you look at some crazy lucha stuff I've seen in the past. We see like luchadors do stuff in the streets and all that, and the way they take bumps is like it's very like okay, I can see how you're taking bumps. Ibushi legit was like taking backdrops on concrete. That's how crazy this guy was. Considering all of that, this is like his first major injury. Like it's crazy.
Oh, that is crazy.
Or maybe a second, right?
The Rock used to be crazy. Like The Rock used to take crazy bumps. If you would go back and look, he'd take a lot of unprotected chair shots. He would take hard clotheslines on the concrete outside. Like
mankind.
It was like that kind of stuff will max out your bump card real quick.
Yeah. Yep. So now let's go to the finals now. So it was the finals. It was Okada versus Ibushi. It was a great match. It was a great match. And unfortunately, at one point, Ibushi tries to go like a 720, which he's done so many times, and he always misses this move. It
was a Phoenix Splash. Yeah.
Phoenix Splash. I apologize. So it was a Phoenix Splash. He always either misses. Most of the time, he misses this damn move. But this is the one time where he just over-rotated a little bit too much, and he hit boom face. And I'm telling you right now, when I first saw that, I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah. No, if you look at the actual hit, his head was going boom. It was like his face and head and then his shoulder and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I saw that, I was like, damn, that's ugly. But it's Ibushi. So that's expected. I'm like, okay, it's Ibushi. But unfortunately, that just happened to be the one too many bumps where it went wrong. They actually had to like cancel the match. They called it for Okada.
He broke his arm also.
Yeah, he broke. I thought he broke his neck. He was not moving whatsoever. And the crazy thing about Ibushi was he wanted to continue wrestling.
Of course.
He wanted to continue wrestling.
That's how wrestlers are, man.
Dude, man. But
like, especially like we talked about. I mean, we can go to the death match, which might be a transition to if you got anything to talk about. But like Nick Gage, I mean, fucking died and wanted to get back in the ring, literally.
Dude, that's how, unfortunately
literally died.
but that's how passionate. That's how much
that y'all didn't let me go back in,
dude. I'm telling you, Ibushi was just laying there for a while, but he was moving, obviously, and all that. When he got up, he was holding his arm like it was like rubber, and he was talking like he still wanted to wrestle. I was like, man, that's just crazy.
They're tough guys, man. It's a different.
Long story short,
can I go?
Where are you going?
Because you haven't hit my point yet.
Well, no, hold on. Well, no, I mean, let me finish that. Okay. Okada is your G1 champion or G1 finalist and he won the G1. So in previous years, this would be like, oh my goodness, yes, he's gonna have the briefcase, he's gonna wrestle, he's gonna lose it a couple times, or he's gonna wrestle for it a couple times and then go to the G1 or go to Wrestle Kingdom. Mm-hmm. But this year there's 3 Wrestle Kingdoms. So in reality, I mean, so Okada definitely has a title shot. But there's 2 other nights where stuff can happen as well. And it was cool too. So another thing that happened, Tonga actually beat Okada, which is insane and utterly insane in a great match. And actually Tonga was the one that came out during his speech or during in the backstage comments. He's like, hey, I'm the one that beat you. I want to go after that briefcase. So your next fight for Okada is Tonga, and that's going to be great. So he has that, and the both God guys beat the Dangerous Techers. So now they also have the going after the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champion. So the God Tonga, they're doing great things. I'm excited.
So
Brad, go to your point.
So the issue here is that New Japan has failed to create new talent for itself, like truly new over talent. And that's my whole argument. Like we can argue like, is this Rock John Cena level rivalry? It's not, to me, it's not really about Ibushi or Okada necessarily being in the main event scene. It's that the fact that this is not a strange rivalry. This is something that has been going on. This is a button that New Japan continues to press, the Okada button. And even in your own description, like nothing else is working, so we're going to go back to Okada. And now
or they're desperate, so let's go to Okada. It's like
they're going to Okada. But I'm gonna completely disagree with you on every point you just made right there, because Jay White, where did he come from? He was a young lion.
You don't have any of my reasons.
He's a star. He's no, hold on. Jay White, a new person that came out. He was a young lion. Came out. He is an established star.
When's the last time
Ospreay.
Yeah.
Will Ospreay. Another guy.
Was the G1?
No, they're here in America for various reasons that we do not know. But there's a reason they would be in the G1
Impact.
Normally, but
they're on Impact.
They would be in the G1, but they weren't. You can't say
they weren't. That has nothing to do with New Japan's booking. It has to do with other things occurring outside of it.
You're strongly reinforcing my point.
I'm really not, because you said they may know the you said they may know the stars, and that's completely false because they have made other stars.
So do you think him wrestling on Impact helps New Japan?
It doesn't, in my opinion,
at all.
And hold on. In my opinion, I don't agree what's happening. But there is something going on, because again, Japan is in this unique situation where let's talk about so you have All Japan, you have Big Japan, you have Noah. Now the difference between New Japan, between all those other 4 ones I mentioned, is New Japan heavily focuses on having foreign talent as top stars. Now BJW just has Drew Parker.
Right? Is that why both of the guys that made the G1 finals were Japanese guys?
Yes, finally. But last year it was Jay White. Jay White was in. Jay White was in there. But my point is, the guys that I mentioned, who just got made, Jay White, who got made again, they're not there for whatever reasons. Jay White has.
That's my point, bro.
No. But your point is, New Japan hasn't made any new wrestlers, and that's completely false. That's utterly false.
No, you're missing my whole point entirely. New Japan is going full-blown WWE, and all the New Japan fans are going right the fuck along with it. I'd like to reference your now almost 10-minute rant about how you're not the WWE, but you ended up with a very similar G1 finals, and
but you
whoa, let me go. Let me go.
So what are you talking about?
I heard you twice.
What are you talking about? 4 years. So you can't even mention it's the same.
I heard you twice. Let me go one time. Now
go ahead.
We've already seen them wrestle. Shocker, Ibushi did some shit he couldn't.
Last year was when we saw them wrestle. Last year, one time. Last year.
Not that long ago.
They fought 4 times in the past like 3 or 4 years. You can't even say they're like John Cena or Rock or Stone Cold. Because Stone Cold fall all the time.
No, dude. Hey, I'll tell you what.
Wrestled that many times.
You can debate me, but what you can't do is go, yeah, but. Or prove my point with your own argument.
Statements. You're making statements about New Japan. Yes, you are.
What I'm saying is true. You may not like it.
Because you're saying Okada and Ibushi is this thing that they've had in the multiple. That is not true whatsoever. Because Okada and Ibushi have only wrestled 4 times.
Okay.
If you say Ibushi not so, then maybe that's another situation that you can.
Who got in the G1 that is new?
Who got in? Okay, Chase Owens.
Not new to the G1. New to New Japan.
Because Chase Owens been in New Japan for years.
Who?
Okay, but okay, but they don't have that mean. Okay, they okay. When it comes to right now what's currently happening, they have a very limited roster because they're spread out throughout. Listen, I don't know the backstage stuff for New Japan. Unlike in America, in Japan, we don't know the backstage happenings of what's happening over there. We don't. We just don't. So I cannot speculate why Jay White is here, why Suzuki is here, why Will Ospreay is here, why Kojima is here. I cannot speculate on that. What I can tell you is that, yes, they're here and they're doing stuff, but to say that New Japan has not made stars, to say because Kota Ibushi was in the finals 4 times does not say that they're having issues with like booking wrestlers. Like, that's nonsense. I just literally just said the great Okan, who came out of nowhere, is a young lion 2 years ago, and he just got established as a main event talent.
It's a long time, bro. 2 years is a long time.
No, but the way he was used, he was never put in that level. This was the event that put him to that level. Now they have another guy, Jeff Cobb, another guy who they had in the past, who they've really been used, and now is a credible main event talent because of what he did in the G1. Zack Sabre Jr. is another guy who again was used in the past, who won a New Japan Cup. He gets on and off, and guess what? He's another main event. He's not another main event guy. So
can you name 3 people that were in this G1 that didn't walk down the Dallas ramp of the venue you were at when the G1 started 2 years ago in Dallas? Because I went through my phone reel today and it was like, oh wow, that guy was there, Jeff Cobb in it,
Great Khan. Can I finish? Since you're making all these little points right there, okay. Let's see here. Because I gotta bring up the list of my.
Every time I start to talk, you cut me off. You cut me off. Every time I start to make my point, you cut me off. And now you're asking me if you can finish. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. Because you're making points that don't make any sense. You name 3 wrestlers.
How would I even get to the end of
Great
this
Khan, Chase Owens, Taichi. 3 wrestlers that were not
New Japan talent in the book. BOW runs Chase Owens every other day as New Japan star Chase Owens. You know, not to bring up different promotions. You just asked me. Name 3 wrestlers that were not in Dallas. I just named you 3. I just answered your question. Chase Owens was in Dallas.
No, he was not in it. He was not in the G1. He was not in the G1.
Okay. But still, did any of them come out on top, or did you get a match you'd already seen several times before?
Chase Owens beat Tanahashi. Now we have an established Chase Owens versus Tanahashi. Tonga beat Okada. And now we have another. Still that.
You're not answering the question. Have we not seen that match so many times?
Tonga versus Okada. We've seen that match a whole bunch of times.
Ibushi versus Okada, the main event.
The past 4 years. It's not. We have not seen it that many times. Wow. You're okay. You know what? I'm gonna go.
Why are you only going back 4 years?
Because he wasn't in New Japan then.
No, okay.
Here's my argument. Let me say this because I really do agree with Ibushi's point.
Okay, here. Let's talk about Ibushi. So Ibushi, before he became a main event person in New Japan, he was known as just a strangler. Hold on, let me finish because you don't know Ibushi. So when he was a DDT,
The
that was the
argument's
first time
about New
he
Japan.
stayed an established location. He would go to New Japan, but he was never booked at all in New Japan because he was a free agent. It wasn't until he went to the CWC, which is the Cruiserweight Classic in America. Then after he left that, then he came to New Japan, and he didn't even come back as Ibushi. He came back as Tiger Mask W because they did not trust him, see if he was going to be there. It wasn't until they finally took the mask off Tiger Mask W. It was Kota Ibushi, which they didn't do it officially, but they did. Fun fact: he actually fought Black Tiger, which was ACH in fucking Wrestle Kingdom, which is fucking awesome, by the way. You just go check that out. Tiger Mask W versus Black Tiger. Anyways, but after that, then he took the mask. Then he took the mask off.
This
and
is
again,
some WWE shit.
and again,
You've gone back really far. You're talking about a lot of old shit.
Because Josh said I only went back 4 years. I only went back 4 years.
It's not about Ibushi.
You didn't wrestle Okada that much either. It wasn't until then Ibushi went ahead, wrestled New Japan, didn't do much. He won the IC champion. It wasn't until he signed a belt and he said he signed. He went ahead and he signed a contract. And he said, "I am a lifer, New Japan." That is when we started seeing him. That's when we saw him go to G1.
No one cares. No one's listening to you because you're not answering the question.
Yes, I answered your question. You said
nobody asked you about Ibushi or the history of Ibushi. You sound. Listen to me. And I'm
hold on. The point that was made was they don't make new talent. You're muted. No one can hear you.
Yes, they can hear me now. But I just proved that's false because I said Okan. They just made Okan. Taichi, who people used to come out and say, "I hate Taichi." He's another star who just made.
So that's not new.
But nobody
hate him. That's not new. Okay.
No, but again.
Not new from they weren't in Dallas.
No, but New Japan does not operate that way. Yo, they don't just sign stars. The way New Japan works is they sign hold on. Sign contracts in January and February for 2-year contracts.
Just turn me
so
you're not gonna let me talk.
No, because you guys are talking about New Japan, saying stuff on New Japan. That's not true. That's why. First of all, there's no such thing. Because they've been there for a while. No, New Japan is not just sign new stars and make them. The way their system works is
that's what we said.
The way the system works is they have a young line system. Once they go to young line, they go overseas. Once they go overseas, they come back and then they start getting established. That's how you get Juice. Juice did the same situation. Again,
sucks. And everybody hates Jews. Like I'm just saying. But
before they hated Juice, he was heavily used. He won the U.S. Championship like two or three times. And he won the IWGP Tag Team Championship a couple of times. Anyone had won. Okay, you can make faces all you want, but it is what it is. I'm giving you guys answers. Okay. You guys are saying
I'm gonna be real with you. Every time anybody starts to talk, you talk over us. And I'm not hating on you, but I'm saying like I'm buried in the argument you won't let me make, and then when I just try to ignore you because you're just talking about shit that's irrelevant.
It's not irrelevant though. It is not whatsoever.
You see what I mean?
Okay, go ahead. My point was, you guys are just making points about New Japan. You don't even talk about New Japan. I'm just saying.
Bro, I'm be real with you, and I'm just gonna say it like it is. You didn't come here to have a debate. Like I'm trying to have my own opinion, and you're upset with me. Like legit,
I'm not upset.
You are upset. You won't be quiet and let anyone else talk. You won't let anyone else speak. The comment that I made to you was that New Japan system is broken. You've spent a lot of time talking about this dedicated New Japan system, but at the current moment, that dedicated New Japan system did not pay out for it because Naito's on the shelf and Ibushi's on the shelf, and they have Okada. And everybody else is either in America or on platform lower than Okada, which is the same predicament that WWE puts itself in. It treats an entire roster like an undercard, and it gives a very small few people this high up tier. And then when they get injured, it's like, whoa, what the fuck do I do? And I have all these excuses. I'm not arguing. Ibushi is hands down one of the most stunning specimens of a human being that exists. That motherfucker can fly without a plane. I will not even begin to debate you. What I'm saying, dude, is this system truly working out? Is New Japan using this effectively? Because to your point, you had Chase Owens. Why can't he be in the spotlight? Why can't he? Like, what? Why hasn't he made it up to that point where
he did? He's going up against Tanahashi in a U.S. championship. He just beat Tanahashi at his biggest win he's ever had.
Yeah,
and he's going against Tanahashi.
That's my only thing. Like, I don't care if Okada or Ibushi made it. Like, I thought it would have been really cool to see Cobb make it. Like, I'm like, all right, this is
and look, listen, and I'm agreeing with you, but I'm telling you, he's already established the way he is. Later on, I'm gonna look up Okada and how many times Okada and Ibushi ever. I swear to you, man, I swear to you, they have not wrestled as many times as you think they have. I swear to you. Cool. And keep in mind, who is the current IWGP Universal Champion? Shingo Takagi.
I don't know.
Shingo. See, it's okay, man. It's okay. It's Shingo.
I know they called it.
A guy who's never had it. A guy who's never had it. You know, that's what I'm saying. So it's.
But is he? If we don't know who he is he a star?
Yes.
If we don't know who he is, he's a star. You watch it all the time. You know who he is.
Okay. Those are two separate things. Those not. See, yes, it is. Those are very two separate things.
The problem is you don't understand what we're really saying.
Well, no, okay.
So you think it's two different things. It's not. It's because you're not really listening to what we're saying.
No. But it's okay.
Yes,
in your eyes, he's not a star. But you don't follow Japanese wrestling. You don't follow Japanese wrestling.
Everything.
No, Shingo Takagi is a well-established star.
2 years.
Shingo Takagi is a well-established star in Japan. He was a multi-time Dream Championship in Dragon Gate. He went to All Japan and actually wrestled in a championship carnival. Went to the final. But again, those are two separate points. No. In your eyes, he's not a star because you're not in Japan. You don't follow New Japan. The New Japan fandom in America and the New Japan fandom in Japan are two separate things. At one point, it was very strong, and that was when AEW left. And once Kenny Omega, Young Bucks left, the New Japan show, and I agree with you 100%. The New Japan is a massive issue with the New Japan fandom in America. It is in America. It is broken. Yes, in America, it is broken. In Japan, it is not as much because Shingo Takagi is well established as a guy. Now, I completely agree with you. I wish, I swear, I hope, I promise you, I wish that New Japan had a better presence in America. It broke my heart going to Dallas and seeing like 100 people there. It broke my heart. To go to Philly and have a sold out.
That too. I agree.
It was sold out. So I agree with you. But to say that he's not a star is two separate things. In Japan, he very much is. In Japan, he very much is a star. He's a well-known guy.
I've never been to Japan.
But that's okay. But those are two separate things. Yeah, New Japan is a Japanese company. It's not an American company. They have New Japan Strong, which is their way to try to get people back in America. But
a new system that they're trying to do that we
but again, it's two separate things. They're worried about they're right now. Their company is worried about what we need to do in Japan. In America, yes, they're doing New Japan Strong. They're trying, but
they have a responsibility to think about the American audience.
They're trying with New Japan Strong, but Shingo when they put Shingo Takagi in that situation, they did it because of Japan. They did it because Shingo Takagi is a well-established guy in Japan. He really is. He really is. I'm sorry.
I mean, I'll give you that. I'm not saying like Shingo over there is big. I just think that we've reached this point where New Japan is not going to break past this level until it really starts to consider that American audience because to be fair, the American audience does seek them out really hard. And you got to be up at 3 a.m. to watch New Japan. So that's a dedication. I think that you got to pay it back a little.
No, and they're trying. And honestly, as I see Juan wants to make a statement, and I apologize for some of this. But at the end of the day, when it comes to America, I'm 100% on your guys' side. I trust me. Being here, but in Japan, that's what I'm saying. Yes. It's a thing you have to look at two different things, right? It's just how it is. Like for example, like El Hijo de Vikingo is fucking big in Mexico. He's gonna be a big thing in America, but he's not just that on that level yet in America. But in Mexico, Juan, would you agree? In Mexico, Hijo de Vikingo, he's a big thing. Psycho Clown.
The only reason why Hijo del Vikingo is not a big thing in America is because he doesn't have a visa. If he had a visa, he would be one of the top guys in America and any other place that brings him.
I've heard of him.
Right
Exactly,
now,
but
that
he's
guy
also in
is
Mexico. I mean,
I've
but he's
heard of
also
him.
one
yeah,
I've
but
heard of
because
him.
because he wants to wrestle, like because Kenny Omega brings him up every second. He wants to wrestle him, and that
Well,
actually
that's
brings up
so
what
their
Kenny
plans.
Omega is going to be doing
So that
in
sounds like a better system.
in the AAA event. So Juan,
So
take
that's
it to you.
working then. Good job by them.
so
Yep, their
finally,
system's working then.
No, it doesn't.
I know
finally,
who he is.
thank you AEW,
I'm
thank you
sorry. Go
Triple
ahead.
L.
You have an announcement to make,
Finally,
numero uno.
finally, we're getting this match. I wouldn't call it a dream match, but it's a match that has been a long time in the making. Many people have asked for it. The wrestlers themselves, I'm pretty sure they're excited about it. We finally get to see Kenny Omega versus Hijo del Vikingo.
Mm.
Yes,
That
oh,
match,
that's what I'm talking about.
the way it looks on the card, it doesn't seem like that's gonna be the main event, which is kind of dumb because it's for the top title that AAA has, and this should be the time where they drop the Kenny Omega drops the title. He has to. There,
Yes.
there's
That's what I was
Yes,
about
there's
to
no,
say. Yes,
dude.
there's
Yes.
not,
What is
please,
that relationship?
please.
well, there's no other guy that should be getting that title more than Hijo del Vikingo. And by that, if they do that, which I really hope he wins that match, that would just open so many doors for him.
So good.
Because
I hope
if
so.
that's the case, it means that we could probably see Hijo del Vikingo in AEW pretty soon. I know he's worked for Impact in Mexico, so
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
means we could see him in Impact in United States, and we can finally get to see him here. So I really hope that's the case, and he wins this match, and they don't
And
do him dirty or just you know do some bullshit AAA move.
so with that, how is that going to help his visa situation? Like we can take a
No,
little bit behind the
if
scenes.
you no, if you
I'm
think
on.
about
I
it,
don't know. Yeah, I don't.
if you think about it, if he has his visa situation fixed already,
Oh, then
wouldn't the smartest thing be to put the title on him?
absolutely 100%.
Exactly.
Hell yes.
So
Yes.
if he wins that match, it's probably more than likely that he
The
already
sign.
has his visa. Yeah.
Okay, so we just gotta hope then. Okay,
So we
cool.
just gotta
I
hope
just
that
didn't know. I don't know
that's
how
the
public they are
case.
with those things.
Yeah. So let's hope that that's the case,
Yeah,
and that's what we get in 2022.
yeah. Because I mean, I know it's like public that he had the visa issue, but it's like, well, why wouldn't it be public that it's been solved? But if that
Yeah.
means he's gonna win the title, fucking all in. Hell
Yeah.
yes.
Hell yeah,
So
man.
Like who gives
hopefully
a
that.
shit that Kenny Omega is the AAA champion? He hasn't done shit with that title.
Yeah.
AEW doesn't even
Exactly.
care about that,
I mean,
I
Yeah.
was gonna say he doesn't even talk about it ever.
dude. It's
he
so
carries it in with them, and they don't
okay.
even mention it. Like he's wearing the belt
Yeah.
literally, and they don't even fucking say
Yes.
shit.
Wait, Juan, being a AAA fanatic like you are, because I'm a AAA fanatic too. What's your opinion on this AAA and AEW relationship? Because I feel
Uh,
AAA gets nothing out of it.
Weak,
no,
weak,
no.
one
There's
sided.
like
Yeah.
what's the actual relationship you see in that Triple A versus with AEW relationship? What Lucha Brothers? That's it.
That's
That's it.
consistent. Yeah, and
That's the only consistent thing you see in there. And well,
well,
and
didn't the
now,
FTR win their belts or something?
Oh
Or
man.
yeah, they.
Big Botch. Psycho Clown came to town when AEW is filming, and he'll be at GCW, not in AEW. Big miss, if you ask my opinion.
but I mean, like, yeah, but FTR won their belts, but like
Yeah,
that made no fucking sense,
I was so
that's a
confused.
dumb move. Like,
right?
why would you
And
put
I love
the
FTR.
titles?
I love FTR.
Yeah,
That
but
makes no
like
fucking sense. I love Kenny
eh,
Omega. Makes no fucking sense.
people in Mexico don't know FTR.
No.
Unless you're a hardcore WWE guy or you follow like PWG and all those promotions, and
Yeah,
they don't know 'em. People in AAA don't follow your mainstream wrestling. They don't follow like indies promotion. They follow lucha.
yeah. I
They
mean, it's like religious. Like it's
yeah
Yeah.
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
that's another level that none of us understand.
No.
Well, you do, I guess, but
So like
none of us.
it makes
The other
no
three over here.
sense to do that. Like I don't even
Yeah.
I can't think of anybody that would have been a good match uh, to give the titles to in AEW because not even the Young Bucks.
And they've
I
actually
don't,
wrestled over there.
Yeah,
yeah,
they
like
were the champions at one point.
I don't think there's anybody that should be like they don't have a good relationship. They don't have the right talent to make it work where it's actually a good thing. Because right now Triple I is not getting anything out of it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, these AAA stars are coming into America, and AEW's not using them. Like, they're here, they're working.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense why you have a working relationship. Like, their titles are in your organization. Like, why are guys like Psycho Clown and Tarus and all these other people working everybody else except you? Like, this is the forbidden door. They don't have to stay. They don't need a contract.
It's starting to close again.
Work them, get out.
Yeah.
Well, those are two good examples, two perfect examples that you gave. Taurus and Psycho Clown. Psycho Clown has a visa.
Awesome, dude.
Taurus has a visa.
Yeah,
He's been here for a while.
Why they haven't been brought into AEW? Pagano has a visa. Pagano, I wouldn't put him in the AEW picture.
Right. But still, he does.
Yeah,
he
he's
has
a kind of wrestler, but...
He has like the potential is there.
But like those, Psycho Clown and Taurus, like, why are they not in AEW?
I have a feeling we know who that Facebook user is, by the way.
Oh, we do?
We mentioned him.
Hey, watch the beginning of our show. You'll love it.
Yeah.
So like it doesn't make sense. Like I would love
it like that, right?
I would love to see Taurus face someone in AEW. You know?
Hell yeah.
Maybe Brian Cage, another big guy, Archer, somebody of size.
Yeah.
And even they're doing this dumb. Now, Brad, I agree with you. This dumb MMA thing with AEW. Cain Velasquez is going to show up. He's coming back to AAA. I mean, there's a chance right there.
Is he going to do something though? Because like the pandemic put the lid on top of the Cain Velasquez pot real quick. Like he was everything else, and then COVID.
Dude, I was saying,
he blew out his knee too.
The match I saw him when he was it Triple Mania? Was it Triple Mania? Cain Velasquez? What was that?
Yeah,
he has been. If I'm not mistaken,
that 6-man tag.
2 or 3 shows. Yeah,
dude, it was so good.
He was good. I was surprised.
Yeah.
Because he was trained at the PWR wrestling school in Cali. And I saw him live in New York when AAA came to United States. And his match was great. But I just don't like how they bring a big name or whatever, an MMA name, Cain Velasquez, they bring him out and they make him the top star. Like, he's great. He doesn't have the experience of a wrestler. Taurus is a better wrestler than Cain Velasquez.
Oh, easily.
Cain Velasquez has the name, but he doesn't have the experience.
And I don't think there's as much crossover in those two industries as wrestling thinks there is.
There's not. There's
and that's coming from someone that I've fought MMA and I've been an MMA fan since before UFC 1.
Yeah,
I'm a rare breed. We're a rare breed.
I think that's a huge connection. They've been doing that forever. Remember Ken Shamrock back in the day?
But I just don't think it's as big as wrestling thinks it is.
There isn't.
No.
That's what I mean. You can't just bring in a guy that's not trained.
Formula. It's not even
working in the ring.
It almost never works.
Ken Shamrock was a wrestler with a wrestling background.
Yeah. And he wanted to be a wrestler.
Severn was a wrestling background that wanted to be a professional wrestler.
Yeah, but if you look at
bring these boxing and strikers, they don't do well when they come over.
And Shamrock was just good at getting his ass whooped. Like that's one of the reasons he was so good at being in the WWE. He could take an ass whooping. You could put him in a good match and whoop his ass and it looked good. But he himself wasn't that great either.
No, and I'm gonna tell you right now. So I was listening to MMA Hour with Eric Hawani, and it had Arlovsky, who showed up in AEW at least 2 or 3 times. And they asked him about AEW, and he was like, "Oh, we beat those guys," and it was like so dismissive about it. And I'm just like, "Come on, like AEW, rethink this whole situation." But yeah, anyway, let's go back to AAA, man. I'm so disappointed with that, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's versus the Velasquez thing,
Yeah, they haven't announced many matches. They pretty much just kind of dropped names. I know Dragon Lee. That's a match that should have already been announced. Lucha Brothers versus Dragon Lee and Dralistico. That match is gonna be great, and they're not hyping it up. Like they're giving more attention to
what bump is AAA getting from whenever these guys are over there now? Besides Lucha Bros, because I mean they were there, but like when Kenny Omega's on a show, are they seeing increases? Do you know? Like, do we see? Like, is there bigger crowds? They can't be, right?
So
because of the pandemic. Yeah.
So okay.
So what the fuck are they getting out of it? Like you said, nothing.
Yeah. So because I listened to Conan as well, who's like the booker for AAA, and he's really said that the only thing they see out of when there's like guys like that is because so when they just stream on Twitch and they see more viewers on Twitch.
But
That's
even then, like right
that's
now,
it.
AAA is not allowed to stream anything online. They don't even have a
I was gonna
Facebook
say
page.
Yep,
they
and they
don't. They
can't.
can't
Oh
even
yeah,
So
there's
what?
stuff. Yeah.
So what?
there's a particular Cubs fan that normally puts stuff on Twitch and that.
Yeah, like what's the point in it? Like
Yeah, I
Doesn't
agree with
make
you,
makes
man.
no
It's,
sense.
so wait, so how can we watch it then? Is it do I have to go through Twitch again with someone else's stream, or can I actually like buy this
So
thing?
no, they don't. There's not a way of watching in United States because of the whole deal with Lucha Underground. They're in a legal battle still.
Yeah. I miss the days of when we could watch it on Telemundo and
Yeah,
Galavisión.
Yeah, man.
yeah.
Those were like
And
when I was a kid. I watched that when I was a
Isn't it
kid.
insane? Like the ripple effect that Lucha Underground has had on the world.
It's insane. And it felt so good. It was like we're in the middle when we're like watching it, and now it's had so many effects afterwards, man.
You almost feel bad. Be like, I want to support, but I don't want to support.
Dude.
But I want to support.
And like the thing, like I want to buy a T-shirt. I gotta buy it through someone else, like because I can't get it through like AAA. You know, I want to give AAA my money because I love AAA. I'm a massive AAA fan. I just don't know how.
Yeah,
it's tough because they don't let them because of all that legality bullshit.
Yeah,
wrestling.
I love it. Wait, so when is it? I totally didn't catch it. So when is the event?
At the end of all
event is gonna be
wasn't it like December?
For what are we talking about?
Triple Mania.
When the event is
December the 4th.
December 4th, yeah.
All right, cool.
I was gonna say 11th, but I think it's the week before that. There's other stuff going on the 11th.
You guys should look up. There's a YouTube channel that does what's wrong with movies, and so they'll like pick out a movie and they'll just watch and they'll name every cinema sins is what it is.
Yeah, cinema sins. I love it.
Sins does one that's everything that's wrong with Triple Mania 25. It's awesome. It's everything. It's like 5 minutes of like Conan like being crazy, 2 minutes of Vampiro like yelling into the mic to the people backstage like the fans can't hear him.
That was hilarious.
It's awesome. Cinema Sins did everything wrong with I think it's Triple Mania 25, and it's great. It's like hilariously bad.
That's crazy. Yeah, we maybe need to share that on the page later.
That's what I'll have to go check it out.
Triple Mania 26.
Yep.
I'm totally gonna watch. Yeah,
you should watch it. It's pretty sad, and it's even harder now because like now, like 3 or 4 years later, we know that Vampiro has dementia. You know, he's losing his mind, and it kind of like when you watch this, you're gonna be like, oh, I wonder if that was part of that. You know,
it's already starting before it was diagnosed. That's usually the way it goes. Yeah,
man. Yeah. But you know, but that's half the fun of watching Triple Mania. Is just like it's a car crash. No, but it's true. It's you're never gonna see a very fluid show. It is a straight up car crash, and it's always a great time. That's why no matter when it is, I stop everything. I'm gonna watch Triple Mania because it is always a car crash. So much fun.
Agreed. Like I said, I've been watching Lucha and all that stuff. I remember being able to watch it on Telemundo and Galavisión.
Yeah, those were the good old days.
The good old days, man. I'm talking like 30 plus years ago, watching it.
I remember wrestling being on Sundays. You could that was my first time ever seeing like more than 4-sided ring, and I'm like the big Corona.
That was the coolest
in the middle.
That was the coolest shit.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Tag matches without tags. Like, they ran out. Somebody else said, "Oh, cool!" Like I was like, 14 years old, 15 years old, and it's like, that is cool shit.
Yeah,
that's different. Because why? Because it was different. It was entertaining, and I like it.
That's why it was always funny watching like them going WWE, and then like the announcers clearly don't know, the commentators clearly don't know what the lucha rules are, and the luchadors don't know what the WWE rules are whatsoever. So it's like there's this great one. It was like Mil Máscaras. I think it was was Mil Máscaras at the Royal Rumble. It was like one of these luchadors.
Royal Rumble '96.
Yeah, and he jumped out the ring, and he had no idea that he's disqualified. He's trying to go in, and the ref tried to push him back, and I was like, oh my god. What the hell?
There was one AAA event that I like.
Call out that comment real quick.
Oh yeah,
that's a pretty big Ninja note that Numero Uno might want to read to. Houston early next year. Ninja has heard of whispers of quite possibly something happening with AAA and the Lucha company down here. Not just whispers. Ninja note. Bet that. That's all I gotta say.
People are making moves. People are making moves.
Texas, man, doing big things, baby.
That's what we do. Man, this is like the most winded I've been in a while.
We all
Good.
came in on one today. We came in ready.
Dude.
Like that's the
Dude, I
great
came
thing
ready.
about
Oh my
this
god!
dude.
Hold on. Oh my god! Oh, I'm sorry. I just forgot to mention one thing with New Japan. We got so sidetracked. Oh my god! Shibata came back. Fucking
I know
Shibata came back.
the main thing that you wanted to
Oh my
talk about.
god! That's one thing I wanted to say. I'm so sorry. I got so caught up with the discussion. Oh my goodness, guys!
1
It's a
hour,
year of
30 seconds.
comebacks. Fucking Shibata came back.
1
The dude
hour,
hasn't
30
wrestled in 3 years. 4 years. Actually, 4 years since he had this
Yeah, 4 years.
hematoma in his fucking forehead.
Yeah.
It was one of my
4
favorite wrestlers.
years.
New Japan would have been such a different state if Shibata
And
was still in it.
He kind of came back because it was
Okay,
like
yeah, okay, yes,
5 minute
yes, okay.
exhibition. Let's be full
Yeah,
disclosure.
so it
But he's
was
coming
so
back. But he's
yeah,
coming back.
okay. So what happened
Yeah.
was it was just a complete surprise. No one mentioned this. The past 2 years, he's been in the ring twice with Kenta, did some stuff, but it was just a whole bunch of stuff. He's the main trainer in LA Dojo. So that's why I was shocked. I wasn't expecting him to actually show up. And then it was intermission. Zack Sabre Jr. shows up in just regular shorts. And then they said it was gonna be I'm sorry, it was an old school Japanese MMA type of promotion, right? And then you hear the fucking music and Shibata comes out. And I was just like, no fucking way. Wait a minute.
Right, yeah.
What's going on? And then the bell rings and they're having a grapple fuck match for 5 minutes. And it was great. Shibata looked great. And there was no strikes or whatever. It's just straight grappling with the best grappler right now in the world. And then afterwards it was a tie. And then Shibata says
time limit draw. Yeah.
Time limit draw. It was a 5-minute exhibition match. And he says, next time you see me in the ring, it's gonna be in a match. And then he throws himself back and takes a bump. Like, I'm not an emotional person.
And it's
I nearly teared up. I was so
and it's so
happy.
great when moments like that happen that aren't ruined by the fucking internet.
It's not. Dude, that's what I'm
Can I
saying.
say
It's
that
just,
again for the
dude,
for the people in the back?
yes,
Like-
and it's
like,
so
shit.
it's just so wonderful
So-
because again, you just don't know what to expect.
We've
And
been
it was
robbed of so much of that in the
Yeah.
last decade.
so
New Japan's the worst too because like main event is
Especially
ending
for
right
us.
when we're getting up for
Yeah,
work.
yeah, man. Yeah, like I
I
woke,
would tell them for that, but I mean it happens here too. Like
yeah, man. I woke up at 5:30, so I mean I normally wake up just to watch it. But yeah, Shibata. We again, New Japan has played this game with us with Shibata in the past. But I truly believe that we might see Shibata back in the next 2 or 3 years in a limited role, very limited role. Because again, the injury that he had, that hematonin,
can't play
he
with it,
could have died. He could have died because of that headbutt.
Yeah.
Right. So they're gonna
Yeah,
take it very slowly.
Smart.
But
That's fine. But
it's
having
fine.
him back is better than not having him.
Exactly. Just see him in that ring.
In any role.
Any role. And you know what? And his role in LA Dojo has paid dividends. Like, keep in mind, remember his name, Narita. This kid is a guy who just graduated the system, and he acts and wrestles just like Shibata. He is the second coming of Shibata. He's gonna take time to bring him up, but Shibata has picked him to be his apparent hire. So
People saying
you can watch him New Japan strong, but we're good, man. But yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot to mention Shibata. That had to be mentioned. It was Shibata, man.
I'm just ribbing people showing up saying what's up after we've been on for an hour.
Berto, hey man, yeah, man, dude, you missed it, man.
We already done had our fight, kissed and made up, and started talking about other shit.
We did, man. Hey, any have deathmatch stuff? Any deathmatch shit?
Actually, tonight's what you call it, Dark Side of the Ring is about XPW.
Yeah, I want to
remember way back in the day, post XPW had a really good run as a up and coming deathmatch style company, but it ended with a lot of controversy. So that's tonight on Dark Side of the Ring. So that's my one shout out there. Watch it, check it out.
Yeah, I'll watch it tomorrow. I always watch them on Friday morning.
Yeah, that's what I usually do.
Because there's always shit going on Thursday night, especially when you got baseball.
Yeah, for sure.
We're up 4-2.
Because I mean, we forgot to remind you, there's baseball season still going. Angel, did you know that?
This is
not in my house. It ain't.
That's not in my house. Baseball is done, son. Baseball is done. Hey, go Astros. I don't give a damn. Fuck it, go Astros. Hey, listen. Hey, I was in the military. The enemy is my friend. The enemy, I don't like the Astros, but I hate the Red Sox even more.
Whoever pays the Giants, fuck them.
Plus, you know what?
And
Shout
they usually have that way with the Yankees.
Yeah, dude. With Houston Astro fans, they're great people. I've gone to many Astro games, and no one ever gives me shit. They're super cool people. So
Oh yeah,
you know what,
I go decked out head to toe Dodgers stuff every time I go
dude?
to an Astro game.
And no one ever says anything. Everyone just they give you like they might rib you, but it's
we
all
talk
in good
shit.
fun. All in good
And then
fun.
we win, and I'm the only one standing clapping, and they're just all staring at me. Those are
Yeah,
the best
right.
feelings.
It's
I
the best
love it.
feeling. Yeah.
Mhm.
Hey, but I will say though, one of these episodes we have to talk about like our favorite Dark Side of the Ring eps, because I think it's like my favorite season. The stuff that's been
I think last season was my favorite season, but this has been a good one.
dude. The last one, the steroid angle, or
That's
sorry, the steroid.
I'm
Steroid
ready
trial.
for that. I feel like this is where we're gonna finally get some stories that we've waited a long time for.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
that.
man.
I love that show so much. Well,
Dude,
yeah,
it's so
we
good.
can definitely hit on that. I mean, we can talk whatever the fuck we want to, obviously.
Dude, yeah. Because I think it's been. Oh, of
And
course,
that's wrestling related. Yeah,
obviously. But I do wish we had like a bright side of the ring, because there's been so many great stuff that's occurred with wrestling, but we because of the way the IWC is and the way everything's are now, we all want to talk negativity, which is fine, But still, I mean, I feel there's a lot of great positive stuff that's occurred in wrestling that.
And that's
we
the
don't really
thing,
talk
like I
about.
said, and that's we started the show off with a rant and me complaining about how much bad stuff happens, but like I wouldn't still do it, if there wasn't the good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the feeling after a show that you felt went good is like, and that's like a high that I've never experienced, and I've been high many different ways in my life, many different ways, high and low, if you know what I mean. But that the high from a successful show.
Yeah, of course.
when
You're talking
you're
about in legal ways, guys. Legal ways.
Whenever-
Officially legal ways.
No, I'm not. I don't give a fuck. I told you I'm out of fucks. I'm not. But like the feeling of being at a show that you put on, and that everybody like makes a point to come to you to say it before they leave how much they enjoyed it and things like that, was like, those are the greatest things. So I mean, there's a lot of good too. You know what I mean? I shed all over it in the beginning, but yeah, positive.
Hey.
Or we wouldn't be doing this shit. Like we wouldn't fucking be on here for
you know what though?
yelling.
We're always happy-go-lucky. Like we're always in here trying to be bright and shiny. I love this episode.
This is my favorite one, I think.
I love this episode.
This shows the passion that we really
so great. It's so great. By the way,
passion that's real, and we don't always have to agree.
No, we don't. And it's a beautiful thing.
Angel's my favorite person.
That proves it. And that proves
Angel's my favorite because he has so much tenacity. Like he has more. Like I don't feel out of place when I shout at him because he's shouting at me.
Yeah,
it's great.
No, I
love it.
But like I said, this is a perfect example.
This used to be full. This was full in the beginning.
Yeah, we saw you. We saw you the whole time, Karen.
So this. But like I said, so like promoters doing this shit all the time, you can disagree and not be happy with each other, but then fucking get over it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We just proved it.
Yeah.
People are in the comments saying, "Oh, y'all should fight and y'all should this and that."
Nah.
No, we're passionate about what we're talking about. We're loud about it, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Period.
You ain't got to be so sensitive about things in the world. You these are the boys, man. Like this,
fine.
if you can't shout at the boys and have fun and get heated, who can? Like this is how we blow off steam.
Yeah. It was great.
Sure.
Yeah.
Another one,
guys. Hey, man. Hey, y'all have a good weekend. Hey, next week we said we're gonna dress up.
Ooh, tune in for that.
Yeah.
See ya.